What's the good word, Josh? Your boy DKB here. So the New York Jets officially hired wide receiver coach Sean Jefferson. Took a minute to kind of cipher through rumors versus facts. Josina Anderson seemed to have originally reported it, but then I'm starting to see guys like Brian Costello double down with their sources and say that this is officially official and I guess in ink as far as I know right now. But it does open up a couple different and interesting conversations and avenues for the New York Jets. But focusing on Sean Jefferson here for a moment, surface level wise, I know a lot of people don't love the hire, right? Prior to that even being confirmed, but just knowing that his name was in the realm of coaches we were looking to bring in, and it makes sense, right? You take a look at just what's been going on with the Jets. We've been touching base with any offensive assistant coach, it feels like, from the Titans for the last month or so. Not a great organization in terms of producing elite offenses, right? At least recently, especially when it comes to the passing game. Then you have the Sean Jefferson news here. You take a look at the 2023 Panthers, brand new top-notch pick. Underperforming offense, right? Offensive line took a step back. You can't really take a look at any of the wide receivers and say that they balled out. Running back suffered a little bit, right? The quarterback obviously didn't look like a top-notch pick. But nonetheless, when you dive a little bit deeper and you peel back this onion a bit, I think Sean Jefferson's a great hire, right? He's bringing somewhere around 17 to 18 plus years of just coaching experience to the Jets. He's also a former player who's played the wide receiver position. So what I would imagine is you're getting more of an old school coach with a modern, adjustment to how things have been done. But he's seen how the game at his position has evolved over the decades, right? And hopefully how to best take advantage of the weaponry that we have here. The biggest upgrade for Jefferson in and of itself is that he has a bona fide number one wide receiver, but then you still do have the young and exciting, speedy Xavier Gibson. Maybe he can help with this rebirth of Alan Lazard, right? And you're still looking, if you're the Jets, to go out and potentially add a top-tier wide receiver in the draft if for whatever reason we don't decide to focus on the offensive line. So there's a lot to love about what he has to work with and just what he's going to bring into the fold. But I get it. Again, the lack of recent success, I should say, going from the Jets in the Adam Gase era, unfortunately, to the Arizona Cardinals and then immediately to the Panthers, and you don't see a tremendous amount of success along the way. But he is widely respected, right? You talk about him holding, interestingly enough, assistant head coach positions throughout a couple teams, right? He had it with the Dolphins. He's had it with the New York Jets. And from my understanding, he had it with the Cardinals, but I didn't see that official designation with them. But nonetheless, he's definitely highly regarded in league circles, which is why he's not hanging around too long after teams start kind of clearing house with their coaching staffs. Then there's the angle that with bringing him along, if you guys remember back, and I can't remember what draft this was, but we were potentially taking a look at drafting his son, Van Jefferson, right? We need to revamp our core. Van Jefferson hasn't really had a career that screams strong number two wide receiver or anything of the sort, but as a depth piece that we're intimately familiar with, that could be almost an assumed addition for the New York Jets potentially, with his father coming back and returning to the New York Jets. But I think this is a solid hire, right? The final point here is Coach Zach Azzani, right? And I say coach because I don't know what his official position is, right? This has been one of the weirdest off seasons for the New York Jets that I can remember because we haven't cleared house immediately, right? Before we officially hired Tony Dews, we had interviews with guys like Deuce Staley. We had interviews with Tony Dews, but we still had Taylor Embry on the roster, who is our now former running back head coach. And we may be seeing the same situation, right? We flirted with Sean Jefferson. We're officially getting him in the building now, but why is it taking so long for us to secure these new guys before letting their replacements go? So it does bargain the question, what changed? Keep in mind from a player perspective, we've seen Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas go out of their way to release guys that they didn't ever have to release. Recent memory, Dalvin Cook. He didn't have to be in the playoffs. We could have kept him until, his contract was officially up, and had him miss. But we've seen this story before with this coaching staff. So why isn't that the case with their actual coaching staff members? Zach Azzani doesn't have any other positional experience, coaching experience at any other positions that I'm aware of. So maybe he's being demoted to his assistant type position to Sean Jefferson. Maybe he is actually going elsewhere to a new team, but it'll take some watching, right? I was excited about Zach Azzani, seeing his previous history with what he's done with wide receivers at the collegiate level and in the NFL with the Denver Broncos. So, plus he has the strong Nathaniel Hackett ties, right? So we'll see what ultimately is happening there, but I do think this is a huge plus for the New York Jets. So let me know what you guys think about the hire, and I'll catch you guys again. Peace.